Well, opportunity knocks for a pair of darting kind of mid-range players in Matt Campbell and Martijn Kleermaker. Kleermaker qualified as a 62nd seed, not reaching the heights of his stature. Matt Campbell really actually pretty high in the rankings, 30th on the Players' Championship circuit, largely down to the fact that he did reach a final earlier in the season. The winner of this match, so he's going to face a tough test in the third round tonight in either Danny Noppert or James Wade. Also in that section of the draw, Dimitri van den Berg and Michael van Gerwen. So a big ask for either of these players to make it through to Sunday, but both players will probably look at this draw pretty favourably, particularly considering that Nathan Aspinall was actually the highest seed in this quarter of the draw, but was beaten by Kleermaker yesterday.
Yeah, I think that's very fair to assume. Campbell was impressive at times yesterday, but no more so than his final couple of darts in that game yesterday against Steve Beaton. Winning by 6 legs to 3 with the inferior average by 2 points, but winning with 100 checkout on 2 double tops. That was clinical.
46.
And nobody matches Martijn Kleermaker in the height department, who's using some new equipment lately. He's got himself a darker set of barrels, and I don't know what it is about his logo on the back of his shirt.
59.
It looks like a D and a G, and yet he's got Martijn Kleermaker under it. And what is it about players hitting the 12 today? That's the second time it's happened.
Well, maybe Mensah started something yesterday.
Don't go there. He started enough trends in the past. Come on, he's not going to start people going for 12s.
Campbell's left the 170. Kleermaker's hit the 180.
You know for a fact, because of that, someone's going to win this tournament at double 12.
100. Martijn requires 60.
Double top to win this leg. But gets it done on double 10. Now they have met once before, this pair. Matt Campbell actually beat Martijn Kleermaker in that run to the final that he had in April in Barnsley when he lost to Nathan Aspinall, who Martijn Kleermaker beat yesterday.
100.
That is some amazing on-the-fly statting, that, Murph. I tip my hat to you. Some of these things happen for a reason, you know.
60.
If you think about your own darting story as a player, there is always going to be a pattern with certain things. And with me, it was always Adrian Lewis. First Worlds, Adrian Lewis. Won the Players' Championship, beat Adrian Lewis. Got to the World Cup final. Oh, guess who was there? Adrian Lewis.
Yeah, that was a quarter-final, by the way, that this pair met in. So it potentially could have been one or the other in that final. Kleermaker has been the distance in a Pro Tour event last year. Lost out to, I think it was Dirk van Dijvenbode.
Dirk van Dijvenbode in Nierenhausen, yeah. That was an all-Dutch final. It was really, really good.
He started off the day well, Dirk. Stunning win in his opening match, 6-1 against Daryl Gurney.
47.
Just consistently see him at the deep end of big tournaments, don't you, these days?
Yeah, and he was tested yesterday as well. He's winning more matches because he's got more qualities now. He can fight, he can lead, he can come back.
Great depth in Dutch darts, and this man is looking to add his name to that list.
One of the only players you'll see throwing down to double top. Down to double 10. And into double 5. He might be going into a very big, deep game here, because, like Murph mentioned, these players will sense a very big chance for them to make the last 16 to take on either Danny Noppert or James Wade, who, again, I hate to say this because it happens so often. We've talked about Humphreys, we've talked about Clayton, Van Gerwen. We're not talking about James Wade again. What is it about James Wade that makes us not talk about him?
83.
He's got a stiff test today, though. Noppert was, like you said, player of the day yesterday.
59.
Are we seeing another Dutch darting renaissance at the moment? The likes of Noppert playing at such high level, Dirk van Dijvenbode not far behind. And of course, who can forget Raymond van Barneveld reaching the semi-finals at the Grand Slam?
Yeah, it's just the Netherlands constantly cranking out some really good players. The conveyor belt just does not disappoint.
Spearheaded, of course, by Michael van Gerwen, who's won the Premier League, the Match Play and the Grand Prix this year.
And so many more behind as well. In development tour darts, people on the fringes. I mean, even Jeffrey Desvan, who has to go to the qualifier on Monday for the Worlds. I mean, it's not as if he's playing badly. You can play well and lose, and that happens to a lot of players on the PDC tour.
Kleermaker's already had his best run by virtue of that sizable scalp he got yesterday. He'd never won a match at the Players' Championship finals in 2 previous visits here. Now he wants tops. That one down there. Double 10. Gets that one down there and gets on top of Matt Campbell. Playing well here, Martijn.
Do you know what? Martijn Kleermaker plays darts like he plays pinball. It's just ping, 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 ping. Oh, it's a bit like what Scott Williams was saying in his interview yesterday.
136.
But honestly, it goes so quickly. It must be something to do with the 21st century attention span as to why people love Kleermaker so much. But if you had a player that quick in the 1980s, I don't think people would keep up with him.
55.
Really is rapid, isn't he? He's a case in point for my 180 call, for those who were listening earlier.
42.
I'm listening. And now that I've had time to digest what you said, I think there is something in it for a slightly alternative 180 call. Well, if it was a Canadian referee, it'd be 180, eh? I wonder what Matt's going to do between now and Ali Pali. Is he going to go back to Ontario and then return? Or will he stick around in the UK for a 3-week period before he goes to Ali Pali? It was different last year. He's going to be playing in his 4th World Championship this season. But it was different 12 months ago because he won the Challenge Tour Auto Merit. And he played in the Motor Super Series before he played at the Worlds. So he had a reason to stay. But now, what does he do?
Yeah, well, he'd be looking, I'm sure, for tournament play somewhere, whether that's in Canada or the United Kingdom.
100.
He did actually win as well before he went to the Worlds.
To win this leg, tops. Nicely taken out by Campbell, who took out Steve Beaton yesterday. A decent win for him as well then. Beaton didn't play badly by any stretch of the imagination and was coming into the tournament in decent form.
It's almost 2 years since Martijn Kleermaker couldn't even play at the World Championship because he got a COVID diagnosis and had to withdraw. And the person who could have taken his place, Josh Payne, also got COVID. I'm glad those days are gone.
38.
Well, he said that exact same thing yesterday, did Matt Campbell. He said, "What are you doing?"
139.
I like this idea of hearing what the players are saying most of the time. It's probably good in my career we didn't have this.
Martijn require 167.
Well, no need for the firework finish, which is why he stayed upstairs.
97.
How much money do you think I would have raised for charity through the DRA for being mic'd up?
79.
Would have had a counter in the bottom right corner of the screen just saying how much I could raise for the day.
Yeah, and these days we trust you with a microphone.
30.
Well, it's funny how the world works.
By the way, if you're wondering what the DG is on the back of Martijn Kleermaker's shirt, it stands for Dutch Giant.
125. Martijn require
There you
40.
go. Double top. He finds double 10 again. Beautifully done. We've talked actually with Dan Dawson and amongst yourself, Murph, about the logos that we get from a lot of the young Germans, like Nico Kurtz,
88.
Ricardo Pietreczko, Daniel Klose has got a lovely Nice little logo on the back of his shirt. But you don't often see
100.
the logo based on the nickname. It's usually based on the actual name of the person. So instead of going down the MK route, he's gone the DG route.
123.
Well, look on the bright side. If Daryl Gurney loses his shirt, he could borrow Martijn Kleermaker's.
A good point. Not going to need it this weekend.
100.
Exciting times coming up here in Minehead. Luke Humphries on the main stage right now, the number 2 seed, 2-1 up against Mike D. Decker. Following that will be Danny Noppert against James Wade. Following this, here on stage 2, Dave Chisnell against Scott Williams.
The Battle of Yellow. Bull.
Two men who could definitely borrow each other's shirts.
Yep, the Yellow Derby is coming your way.
Looking for green, looking for red. And he gets parity.
How good has he been on tops the last couple of days on this stage? I say it all the time. When someone is finding a bed with such regularity, the key to victory is to keep leaving it. So for Campbell, keep leaving tops.
98. $125.
It's a really good game, this. Do you know, I'm going to be totally honest with you here, Paul, now. When I looked at our menu for the day,
99.
this was the one match that really blended in for me, that didn't really jump off the page.
58.
Proving to be one of the better battles.
Yeah, one of the under-the-radar kind of games that you tend to look at in a Players' Championship event, maybe in match number 2 or match number 4. Neither would be seeded. Maybe at the same place in their career, looking for a bit of a jump. Makes complete sense to me.
140.
We might see some fireworks here. Not to be from Campbell. Now, which route will Kleermaker employ on the 118? It should be treble 20. It might be treble 18.
Well, Merv went the 18's first route yesterday, didn't he? And he hit it out with 18, 60 and tops. Campbell's on tops.
Inevitable. Ah, finally he flinches.
45.
And this time the cover's not there either.
40.
Can he? Oh, that's a big mistake.
Required 20.
You see with the green triangle next to his name, this is for a break now for Campbell, who takes it. That could be the most important leg of the match.
I tell you what, he raced to the hockey then as well, didn't he? Couldn't wait to rock up and fire that one in the double.
Yeah, he doesn't mess around, Matt. For me, Campbell was always going to be a player in the top 100 in the world. Even well before he won the challenge to Order Merit in Europe last year, he was putting in some numbers in the CDC that were making people's heads spin.
Well, look, you're the expert, Paul, when it comes to actions, etc. But to me, to my layman's eye, Matt Campbell's throw just looks so easy to repeat.
Yeah, it's robotic. He's got a side-on stance, which is an individual choice, but it suits him because he punches the air with every dart, but he somewhat robotically stops every time in exactly the same position. So it's up, stop, back and through. And that metronomic attitude towards this throw is what's got him to the point where he is now. He's a superb player, one of the best that Canada's produced.
And it means even when he has to pause, doesn't it, that he can throw the dart exactly the same still.
Yeah, he has a rhythm within a rhythm. And he now has a 5-3 lead against Kleermaker. Brimming with confidence is the Ginger Ninja.
Well, Luke Humphries is brimming with confidence and he's producing a bit of a rip-roaring performance as well. 107.38 is average right now, and he's 4-1 up against Mike D. Decker.
96.
The average for Campbell, around the 93 mark. isn't that bad from Kleermaker, actually. 90. But he has missed 10 darts at a double, and Campbell's only missed 4. That's where the game has been won and lost so far.
134.
Campbell.
100.
Clear. All Kleermaker at the moment, looking to repeat the scoreline he beaten by 24 hours ago.
That is immaculate from Campbell. Perfect tactics, better execution, within 2 darts of winning the whole thing. And he won at 100 yesterday on 2 double tops.
He was hoping for a sweet repeat. Kleermaker now must hit this. No other option. Double 5, and he has hit.
I suppose technically Matt Campbell has not had a double to win this match yet, but he did go for a double to set one up. So he missed the double to leave the double.
100.
Fair play to Kleermaker getting that awkward double 5 at the end of that combination to stay in this one. And he does have a history, does Martijn, of fighting back. That
84.
game that I mentioned way too often. That game in 2020 at the Summer Series where he played Luke Humphries. Honestly, if you haven't seen it, it's an astonishing
93.
game. One of the best I've ever seen. It's fast, furious, and brilliant. And Kleermaker won it with a 140 out on double 10.
128.
But I don't see any way back here. I think Campbell's going to get this in 6 darts.
56.
But I've been wrong before.
In that match you mentioned, it was Kleermaker himself who was averaging 107.7, exactly the average that Humphries has got right now.
Yeah, that's how good it was. They were both well over 105.
Campbell looking to go from 5 to 6 here. Great start. Wrong bed. So it's 28 remaining. Double 14 for the match.
58.
And now he has missed a couple of doubles, but he will get more.
What he's got to do is he's got to clear his mind right now, because he didn't think he was going to leave double 7 for the match.
14.
It's a good lie, though. And that one's in. He's made his way through to Saturday night. Matt Campbell could be on a bit of a run here. You just never know. He was very good against Beaton yesterday. And he's going to take on either Danny Noppert or James Wade in the next round. Martijn Kleermaker does fall by the wayside, but the Canadian is still smiling, eh? Great stuff. We will come back. We've got more action for you on stage 2 to come. In fact, 2 more matches. And the first one is the Yellow Derby between Chisnell and Williams.